So today we will see how we can connect to the Windows workstation, and for example we will see only for the Windows workstation. We will not see for the Linux workstation, but the procedure is same. So after a long trial it has been now possible to do it. So what you have to do first is that you have to install a software called WinSCP. So it's simply WINSCP, and you see that this is the software and it is installed, and you open this and this window opens up. So let me show you the window. So this is the window which opens up, and you can click on new session, and then you have to write the IP address of the workstation or the virtual machine where you want to get connected. So the IP address for the Windows workstation CFM Win1 is 172.26.96.48, and then you hit enter, and then it will ask you for the username. Username is CFM, and W is capital, so Win1 Win1, this is the username, and then the password is CFM W capital IN1 @123, and then you hit OK, and then you see that these two computers are now connected. So on the right hand side you have the virtual machine, on the left hand side you have your own machine. So what you can do is you have to go to whatever folder. So you want to go to documents, and then you want to create your own folder. So for instance, my name folder is there, so you can create your own directory and then name it whatever your name is. You can use it and put all the files there. So you go to this folder, and then let us say you want to take this PDF file and you want to transport it or transfer it to your workstation. For instance, you want to run an input file, so we will deal with that. So we will go to any of the input files. So I go to browse, and then I go to my input file which is there in my desktop. So I go there and this folder and click OK, and you see no, I don't have it, so I have to go up a little bit. So browse, and then I will go to just the parent directory of that, and OK, and I will choose one of the input files which I want to run. So let us just take this job7, and I just drag it to the workstation which is on the right hand side, and I drop it there. Then it says upload the file blah blah to remote directory. Say OK, and you will see that transfer confirmation turned off. You have opted not to see the transfer option dialog. In the next time, click here to undo. So I'm getting a notification. Anyway, so this is transfer. So the file is now in the workstation, and I'll show you physically if this file is in the workstation. So we have put this. So this is the Windows workstation, and I will just go to the files, and I'll go to document folder, and there I can see this job7. Okay, so this WinSCP software can be used to transfer the file. It is very fast, so any desk you cannot do it, but using this software you can transfer your file, ODB files, CAE files, so size doesn't matter, you can transfer it using the internet we have in the institute. Okay, and now another software is called Putty. It is free. WinSCP is also free. So Putty is a software which you need to install on your desktop machine, and this is installed in the workstation. So workstation you don't need to do anything. So you just, once you have installed Putty, then you open it, and this also has the same kind of window. So you go to 172.26.96.48, and everything remains same. Then you see this command window, and in this command window you log in as CFM Win1 is the username. Then you type in the password CFM Win1 @123, and it takes you to the virtual machine. So you can see here that it has gone to CFM Win1. Now here this software is not for file transfer. This software is to run Abacus jobs, and for that you need to put input files in the work directory. Okay, so now I know that my directory is in the document folder, in the folder which is on my name. So I'll just see where I can go to documents. So I can go to documents, so I'll write cd space documents, and now I am in the documents, and then I will see what are the files which are there in the document directory. And I have Abacus work directory, so I want to go in that directory. So I'll write cd then Abacus work directory, and now I'm here in Abacus work directory, and I'm guessing the folder of my name should be here somewhere. So I will just see the list of the folder. So you see that this folder is there, so I'll just write cd then the folder's name, and now I am in the folder where the input file is. So if you look at the list of the folders, then you see job7.inp is there. Okay, so now I am in the folder, and now I want to run the Abacus. So what I will do, I will write abq2016 job equals, so I have forgotten the command. I believe it is Abacus run job, or yeah, I think it is run job equals job 7. So job equals job minus 7. I don't have to write .inp, I can just hit enter and see what happens. And Abacus exited with error. I don't know what was the error. So I believe command line option minus run cgm must be in conjunction with foreman. So I'll just have to look at the right syntax which is used to run the Abacus job, which I've forgotten for sure. So command to run Abacus in command prompt. So okay, so Abacus job is equal to this, and CPUS is equal to 1. So I don't need to write run, so probably that was the syntax error. So where is putty is here, so I'll write so I'll write, I think I'll have to write Abacus abq2016, or I can just write Abacus, I think Abacus, then I write job. Then what was the syntax? Was there an equal to symbol? Yeah. So I will write, okay, so I will write job equals, and then I believe there was an inverted comma, or was there a quote? No. Okay, so job is equal to job minus 7, and then CPUS is basically telling that how much CPU you want to use. So CPUS is equal to, let's say 4 would mean that you're using 4 CPUs. So you're using you have different CPUs, no, when you in the task manager, so you can use 4 here, and then let us see if it works. And the command has started working. There is no error. You don't see anything here, but if you go to the folder where you had that input file, so you see that these files have been created. So you have a status file, you have log file, you have an odb_f file. That means the job is running, and you can check it out by opening the status file, sorry, not STT but STA. So right now the preprocessor is running, but ODB has started. So I believe, I don't know what it is, this is message file, there should be an .sta file. So I don't see it yet. Maybe the preprocessor is running, but after some time I should see I should be able to see the .sta file, so still don't have it. Okay, so this is the log file. So here you see that pre.exe is running. That means preprocessor is running, and after, so once the pre-processing is done, then you will be able to see the standard.exe program running, and then your actual calculation really starts. And once the calculation starts, then only you see the .sta file, which tells you the status. So basically you can see that how many increments has been solved for. So that will not start until the preprocessor is finished. This job 7 will take some time because this is a crack growth simulation. So so there are many contour integrals which has been asked in the history output, and there are 23 steps. So pre-processing will take some time, but basically this is the idea. You see that the job has started running, and you can also stop or suspend. That means pause the job. So if you want to do some analysis and you have run a job which is taking all the CPUs, so you really don't have much RAM or computer available for your analysis to be done. So what you can do is you can simply write abacus suspend job equals job -7, and then hit enter, and you see a message that send suspend message to abacus job blah blah blah, and the job has been suspended. So now the job is not running. It has been suspended. It doesn't mean it has aborted, or you can rerun the job, the same job. It has just paused. The calculation has stopped for a while. Okay, and so it will not free the RAM, but it will freeze the CPUs. So the 4 CPU which you were running, those are now free for any kind of calculation, but the RAM which is used to take the memory and the data which is created during the analysis, that is still being held by the simulation. So what you can do is you can write abacus resume job is equal to job -7, and it says send resume message, and after that a new cursor comes, so the calculation has again restarted. And that you can actually check also in the task manager. So you go to processes, and then you see that which one is using maximum amount of CPU, which is using by SMAP processor. So that is Simulia preprocessor. So that is pre.exe is running. And now let us say that you want to close the job, you don't want to run the analysis. Okay, so for that I think you have to write terminate, or I don't really remember the exact syntax, but I will try terminate. So job -7, and let us see what happens. Yeah, so send terminate message, and the job will stop now. So now you cannot resume it, the job is finished. So you see that CPU is not being used by, so only 5% of the CPU is now running. So the CPU has been made free, and now these files are of no value because we didn't do any. So the pre-processing was running, so ODB file is really not there. So just I will also delete the input file because that is not needed by you guys. That was just an example. I'll just delete everything here. Oh, one more thing is that you see this restart file. So if you want to really save the amount of computer which is used during a calculation, you can open your input file, okay, and you go to the end of it. All the basic lines are at the end, and there are 23 steps in this simulation. So this is not really a good example, but anyways, usually you have 1 or 2 steps. So step 1, and here you will see somewhere restart write frequency 0. If you delete this line, if you just remove this line, nothing happens, no problem, no error will come. Okay, but it will save a lot of memory, your RAM, because this restart file will not be written, and it will not collect the data, so that in future you want to restart the job. And this restart is not what we do by using the command suspend and resume. Suspend and resume will still work even if you don't have that line in the input file. This restart is for something else. Sometimes what happens is that you want to start a calculation with a pre-existing ODB file. So in that case, this restart file is used. So we'll not go there. Okay, so you should install WinSCP and putty in your systems, and then using the IP address, which is 172.26.96.48, you should be able to connect to the Windows workstation. Use it for your calculation, because this workstation is there for so it has, I think I have given it 32 GB RAM, and I don't know, but I think I have given a lot of processors also to this one. So if I look at virtual machine setting, then it is opening up. So you see I have given 32 GB of memory to it, and I have given 8 processors, and the hard disk is 200. So 32 is 34.3 actually is the RAM. So in your computer you have probably 8 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. So this has got 32 GB dedicated to your workstation, and there are 8 processors, meaning 8 CPUs are there, and the hard disk capacity is 200 GB. So don't keep big ODB files. Whatever ODB file runs for you, and you think that now this calculation is what so from which you want to do the analysis, just keep the input file of that. As soon as your analysis is finished, delete the ODB file, keep the input file only, and all rest of the files, like these .mdl, .prt, .sim, .dat, and all these files you can delete. The only important files which you want to keep is the input file and ODB file, as long as you need to do the analysis on ODB. Once the analysis is done, once you have extracted the data you wanted, after that you delete the ODB file also. Okay, so I'll just delete these, and I hope it works for you guys. And